Bali becomes new key target for South American drug cartels, according to BNN. And here is something. 2 immigration officers named suspects for helping a Russian gang extort, kidnap, and abuse victims in Bali. Wow. Stay tuned for details on these and other stories. Selamat pagi. Welcome to the latest news from Bali in Indonesia. This is August 6th, 2025. Yes, it's August already. And my name is Bruce. And what is the weather like today? Well, interesting weather. So I was up at 5:30. I have a grandson staying with me for a week, and so I'm getting up really early. And my granddaughter is now at SMP as a middle school, and she has to leave early too. So I was up at 5:30. It was 24 degrees at 5:30. It was cold. And now it's 8:30 and it is already up to 28.4 degrees. So wow, 4 degrees jump in just the last 3 hours. But it is beautiful. The sky is blue. There is no wind. Wind speed is 0. And the temperature, of course, is what I told you. And the humidity is 71%. And so another lovely August day in the island of the gods. Okay, so what do we have today? Well, we've got a lot of stuff. And there are a couple of links in the description down below. Stories that I'm not going to get to that you might want to go and check out for yourself. But first, let's get into this news story from the Jakarta Post about Bali and drugs. Bali becomes the new drug key target for South American drug cartels, according to BNN. Bali is increasingly being targeted by South American drug cartels as a new market, according to the Indonesian National Narcotics Agency, BNN. The shift comes amid tighter crackdown in the U.S., prompting cartels to expand into Southeast Asia. A recent arrest of a Brazilian man at the airport in Ngurah, 3 kilograms of cocaine, highlights the seriousness of this development. Authorities believe he's connected to a South American cartel. Just months earlier, an Argentinian woman linked to a Mexican syndicate was caught with over 300 grams of cocaine. BNN officials warn that major organizations like Mexico's Sinaloa cartel are now operating in Bali. The BNN chief notes that these groups are likely working with local syndicates using the island's popularity and high tourist traffic to build new drug networks. This trend is part of a broader rise in transnational trafficking targeting Indonesia. The U.S. designation of South American cartels as terrorist organizations, especially during the Trump administration, has forced these groups to find alternative markets, Bali being a prime choice. Bali police reported over 1,300 drug-related arrests in 2024, a 23% increase from the previous year, and seized large amounts of meth, cocaine, ecstasy, and cannabis. Authorities have also detected the presence of Ukrainian, Russian, and Southeast Asian drug networks, along with links to Afghanistan's Golden Crescent and Myanmar's Golden Triangle. These cartels are reportedly using cryptocurrency and blockchain tech for untraceable financial transactions, while running secret labs and cannabis farms in rented villas across the island. The drug problem has become increasingly severe, and not just the international circuits, but locals as well. There was a story the other day, I think yesterday, about Tucamunga, where I used to live, and meth problems there. And we've got meth problems here in the city as well. And so drugs are an increasing problem in Bali. And here is a story. Wow, this one is just hard to believe. And it's interesting because there has been nothing over the past, 4 days, I think, since the story first broke. Nothing about it. So what's going on there? But let's see. 2 immigration officers named suspects for helping a Russian gang extort, kidnap, and abuse victims in Bali. A case of extortion accompanied by kidnapping and assault carried out by a Russian foreign national in Bali has been successfully uncovered. This kidnapping was carried out by a Russian with initials LV and friends against RS at Sakura Housing Complex block in Jimbaran, and this was on Thursday. The case was revealed by the Bali police chief. The Bali police chief explained that the Bali police had detained 4 people in this criminal case. 2 Russian nationals are suspected of being part of a criminal gang. The perpetrators planned this crime in a highly organized manner, but targeted the wrong person. The group's modus operandi is to carry out extortion through kidnapping and assault, as well as threatening to take the victim to the immigration office and deport them. Apart from the LV, 3 other suspects are LS, and he's also from Russia, and 2 immigration officers, EE from Jakarta and YBP from Magelang, who backed the perpetrator's action. At that time, RS returned to his rented house in Jimbaran, and when he was in the living room, still wearing a helmet, victim turned on the light and saw several strangers already inside. 2 of them immediately attacked by strangling the victim's neck with duct tape and beating him until his nose bled. After that, the perpetrator realized that RS was not the gang's target. The beating stopped then, and a pair of people, man and a woman, in immigration uniforms showed up. The victim was then forced to open his cell phone and show his personal data and passport photo, which were taken. He was then interrogated about $150,000 US belonging to someone with the initials R, which was accompanied by intimidation and threats. He was threatened with deportation, imprisonment, and even death if he did not cooperate, and the victim was also told not to report the incident. The police chief said that as a result of this action, RS suffered physical injuries, and he reported it to the police. Following up on this case, the Bali Police Criminal Investigation Directorate's mobile crime team conducted an investigation. From the results of the investigation, officers obtained information about the vehicle used by the perp, as well as CCTV around the incident. On Friday, July 18th, officers headed to Lembar Harbor in West Nusa Tenggara and coordinated with the NTB Regional Police to map the perpetrator's whereabouts. The perp was known to have gotten in a car in the port area. The police then questioned the driver who drove the perp, and from his confession, he had driven the perpetrator to Central Kuta Mandalika intersection. The team returned to search around Kuta Mandalika by mapping the accommodations and checking CCTV footage. Based on the CCTV footage and information from the public, the perps were detected at a restaurant on Monday, the 21st. Both Russians were arrested. They were taken to the NTB Regional Police for interrogation. During the investigation, 2 immigration officers from Jakarta and Magelang were also arrested. It turns out that there's another perpetrator who is suspected of being the mastermind of the gang with the initials GG, who is currently still at large. GG contacted individual E, that's one of the immigration officers, and expressed his intention to find Mr. R, Russian citizen, to be targeted because he had debts and had defrauded him of 2.3 billion rupiah, with the promise of providing operational funds of 3 million rupiah if the 2.3 billion was obtained. Well, immigration officers, these 2, got involved. Next, the immigration officer, E, searched the target's profile and location, and then they discovered, I guess, where they were. And the police are still looking for GG. From the results of the development of the investigation of the perpetrators, both witness statements, confessions, and ITE analysis using scientific crime investigation, it can be seen that the foreign perpetrators are part of a network from a Russian gang that commits crimes in the Bali jurisdiction. Scientific crime investigation obtained 27 crime scenes from January to July, which are still being investigated. The gangs suspected of carrying out extortion or robbery of money with the modus operandi of kidnapping, confinement, abuse, and forced transfer via crypto. Apart from that, they are also involved in drug networks, foreign national prostitution networks, and money laundering networks through crypto. Currently, the 4 perpetrators are being held at the Bali Regional Police Detention Center to undergo legal proceedings, including the confiscation of evidence and to conduct a search of the perps' residences in Denpasar. For their actions, the suspects are suspected of violating Article 170 of the Criminal Code and 351 of the Criminal Code, in conjunction with Articles 55 and 56 concerning the crime of assault. Meanwhile, the head of Bali Regional Office of Director General Immigration fully supports the Bali Regional Police in legally processing the 2 immigration staff involved in the crime. Listen to this. The 2 immigration staff members, EE and a woman named YBP, were involved in the Russian criminal gang in committing the crime. He said, "We really respect and provide support for the development of this case." He emphasized that strict sanctions would be imposed after the legal process was completed. He even threatened dismissal of the 2 young immigration staff members. Later, after the police development, there will be a code hearing, and sanctions will definitely be very heavy for the persons involved. It's possible that they will be fired because actually all they did was assist in kidnapping people. So, not that serious. So, wow. Strict penalty for those immigration officers, and Russian gangs in the news again. So what do we got? Kidnapping, extortion, assault, drugs, prostitution, money laundering. What else? And well, if you follow Southeast Asian news, you know that there are Russian gangs operating in Thailand and have been for a long time. So how is this going to pan out? I don't know. Like I said, I haven't seen any news about this for the last 4 days. So what is going on there? Don't know. And what about transportation and infrastructure? Supported by the Minister of Transportation, Badung is building the Canggu-Nusa Dua Sea Toll Road, while Gianyar is focusing on widening 80 roads. The frequent traffic jams on the main routes to the airport have prompted a number of strategic steps from the local government in Bali. Yes, water taxis back again. One of them, Badung Regency, is seriously reviewing the sea transportation option from Canggu to Nusa Dua as an alternative mode to reduce traffic congestion. In a DPRD plenary meeting on July 28th, PDI Perjuangan urged the provision of sea transportation or sea taxis to support access to the airport from tourist areas such as Canggu. Responding to this, Badung Regency, Pak Arnawa, expressed his support and said that the concept of a sea taxi or water taxi is currently under discussion. Not only at the regional level, the central government, through the Ministry of Transportation, is also designing a water taxi service around the airport. The transportation minister said that sea routes can be a quick solution to connect major tourist areas such as Sea Seminyak, Kuta, Nusa Dua, Tanjung Benoa, and Nusa Penida. The route is shorter than the ones currently used, such as from Senur Harbor to Nusa Dua, the Nusa Penida, he said. However, he has not yet confirmed the launch time for the service because it is still in the review stage by the Directorate General of Sea Transportation. More studies. In addition to focusing on sea routes, PDIP submitted 20 proposed land infrastructure projects to address traffic congestion. Some of these include construction of a new road from Banjar Ulanuma to Werdibuana village, the construction of roads and bridges from Mangui, and the opening of access from Canggu to Perenan to Chamagi. And there are other proposals as well, such as widening roads at congestion-prone points, such as Dharmasaba Junction, and others. Meanwhile, the Gianyar Regency Government is also taking action to address congestion in the Ubud area. The local government will widen the road from the Arjuna statue eastward, including the Banjar Ambengan area of Paliatan village. Water taxis widening the roads. This is going to solve the problem. I'm still hoping for the two-person helicopters or the flying taxis. Flying taxis really cool. Probably will get here about the same time as the airport, the North Bali airport, but who knows. Okay, and some more infrastructure. Badung receives provincial and central government funding for the construction of an underpass at McDonald's Jimbaran intersection. The Badung Regency Government, with the support of the Bali Provincial Government and the central government, will transform the McDonald's Jimbaran intersection into an underpass integrated with the Southwest Ring Road to ease congestion in southern Badung. The plan, which will be executed starting next year, was conveyed by the Badung region. The plan for the Jimbaran McDonald's intersection underpass has been coordinated with the road agency BBPJN and the Director General of Highways, he said. Pak Adi said he'd received an order from the Bali governor to immediately execute the Jimbaran-Mukdi intersection underpass plan. The governor's order was for the construction plan to begin in 2026 regional budget because it's included in the priority work of the Bali Provincial Government. The region of Badung assessed that the Jimbaran-Mukdi intersection underpass plays a crucial role in supporting the performance of JLSB. Format of a regular intersection instead of an underpass is believed to hinder the flow of vehicles that are already running smoothly on the ring road. The legs of the ring road must be given attention. Don't let the road to the west ring be smooth, but when it reaches its legs at Simpan Kali, also at the Jimbaran intersection, there is congestion, according to Pak Arnawa. To execute the implementation of the Mukdi intersection underpass, the Regency government has budgeted 100 billion rupiah. Adi Arnawa said that the results of the initial coordination with the Bali Provincial Government and Director General of Highways has brought good news, mainly a commitment to financial support so that a co-sharing budgeting scheme is open. Hopefully it will happen, he said. We prepared a budget of 100 billion and the province will provide 50 billion and inshallah the central government will provide 200 billion. So hopefully we can realize the Simpang Mukdi underpass by 2026. So a lot of plans for infrastructure. And some more bad news about foreigners here in Bali. A foreigner committed an offense in Bali, stealing and burning a car and hitting two people on the road. Wow, this guy did everything. An Australian citizen carried out a car robbery at Eden, the residence at Sea Seminyak, Jalan Batu Belig in Kerobokan the other day. This was on Sunday. The incident that occurred went viral on social media because the car belonging to IKW, a Balinese resident, was found completely burned. It's suspected that the foreigner burned it behind an empty house in Denpasar. The car caught fire, allegedly set on fire by the foreigner who caused the problem, according to head of public relations of the Denpasar police. Initially, the victim parked his car at his house. Then a foreigner came and immediately knocked on the car window, forced the victim out of the car, and stole the car. The foreigner drove away, and the victim ran and called security guards to chase the car together with him, and the stolen car hit two people as it was driving away. Because he was driving the car too fast for the victim to catch up, the victim then tried to find the car's location by tracking his cell phone, which coincidentally was in a bag that was found with the victim's wallet still in the car. The victim suffered a loss of an Avanza-type car, which was completely burned, and the loss is estimated at 150 million rupiah. AKP Sukadi confirmed that there were no fatalities or injuries in the incident. The car fire was extinguished by involving two Denpasar City Fire Department units. The perp has now been apprehended by North Kuta police as the initial incident originated in the North Kuta area. Okay, now why did he burn the car? If he allegedly burned the car, I don't know. Why did he steal the car? Who knows why all this crazy stuff is going on. So we got a lot of criminal activity, but in the meantime, the island is full of people. And well, that is it for today. I've got to go and take care of Max, find out what the little guy is up to. Thanks for viewing. Be kind to someone today. Take care. Have a great week. And I will see you again next Wednesday.